Hello my dear students and viewers, my name is AK sir. Today we are going to start a very important unit which is known as calculus. Why we are calling most important unit in class 12? Reason is it contains 35 marks in class 12 board examination, which means 12th board examination 80 marks, out of 80 marks 35 marks only calculus, which means almost 43% to 44% weightage in class 12 board examination. Got it? Next, why we are calling important unit, most important in JEE also. Almost every student try to attempt JEE examination. JEE Mains 35 to 40% weightage for only calculus. Not only in board or not only in JEE. After enter in BTech, which means after qualifying JEE Mains you will enter in BTech, you will take admission in BTech. There also in engineering, there is in first and second semester you will get again calculus. Okay. So what topic we will cover in calculus? So without limit we can't start continuity, otherwise I need to start from class 12th only, but without limit we can't understand the continuity. That's why I am going to start with limit basic concept, which is what? First of all, what is limit? I already told you I need to start with limit. So what is the introduction of limit? Introduction of limit is here mentioned. We use the limits to describe the way of function fx varies. Some function, which means variation. Some function varies continuously, means small change. Some function varies continuously. What do you mean continuously varies? Which means if we will change a small change in x, a small change in fx, right? We know if we will small, which means always we have y equal to fx. Function is of the form almost y equal to fx. So x is independent variable, y is dependent variable. So if we will change small change in x, small change in y also, this is known as continuously means, right? Now small change in input produce small change in fx or y, same thing already discussed. But some function y equal to fx is any function, some function if you will change, some function if you will small change in input, there is drastic change or radically change in y, right? Or jump, input little bit change but output more change. Got it? So these functions, like suppose any graph is going like this, then same point like this, or this one, then start from here. Tends to a means what? This sign is written by like this symbol, but we read as x tends to a, which means x approaches towards a. Got it? X approaches towards a. So एक छोटा सा हम शॉर्ट देखते हैं कि x approaches towards a means what? x approaches towards a means x a की तरफ जा रहा है, right? x a की तरफ जा रहा है बट कभी भी a के इक्वल पहुंचेगा नहीं, which means x never equal to a. x tends to a, there are two things. When x tends to a, there are two things. One is a means any number, right? a belongs to any real number. So अगर x टेंड टू a हो रहा है, विच मीन्स x मूविंग टुवर्ड्स a, तो हम a के x अप्रोचिंग फ्रॉम वन टाइम राइट हैंड साइड, वन टाइम फ्रॉम राइट हैंड साइड, वन टाइम फ्रॉम लेफ्ट हैंड साइड. फॉर एग्जाम्पल a इक्वल टू 2. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हमने एक एग्जाम्पल लिया है, ग्राफ से समझाने की कोशिश करेंगे आपको. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड विद ग्राफ. दिस इज द फंक्शन, एनी फंक्शन, दिस वन इज एनी फंक्शन गिवन, ग्राफ ऑफ एनी पैराबोला. यू नो दिस वन इज पैराबोला, राइट? दिस पैराबोला इज x स्क्वायर प्लस 3, y equal to x square plus 3, right? So and try to find the limit at 2. So left hand side from approaches from left hand side, right? This one is 2, x equal a equal to 2. So if we will approach 2 from left hand side, this is known as 2 minus. If we will approach 2 from right hand side, we will known as 2 plus. So a minus or a plus is not negative or positive numbers. This one is a minus, this minus is representation from, this minus represent only we are approaching a from left hand side. A plus means this plus sign, this a power plus, na? This plus sign means we are approaching a from right hand side, not positive number or negative. Got it? For example, if you are writing anywhere like limit x tends to 2 minus fx, which means we need to approach this function from left hand side of 2, right? Left hand side of 2, not 2 negative number or positive number. 2 with left hand side will approach. or if you are writing limit x tends to minus 2 plus, which means not positive number. This one is from number is minus 2, that point is minus 2. At minus 2 we are approaching from right hand side, this is plus sign. Got it? So we got the idea about what is meaning of a minus and a plus. We can read also. Meaning is when x moving towards left hand side of a and very close to a where fs goes. Where fs goes, which means when x moving towards when x moving toward left hand side of a, like this, left hand side of a, 2 minus, then 2 minus, then where fs going, this is known as left hand, and approaching from left hand side, this is known as, that function value is known as left hand, this value limit is known as left hand limit, which means 2 minus or a minus, this is known as left hand limit. When we approach a, or that here 2 from right hand side, we are calling as right hand limit. Okay, if we approach from right hand side, we are calling a right hand limit. If we approach from left hand side, very close, left hand side, right hand side means not too much far away, just right hand side means, for example, here see, if you are saying limit x tends to 2 minus any function f x, which means just we are trying to say 2 minus means from left hand side means x equal to, we can think like 1.9999 like this. This is the value of what? A equal to, this one is meaning of 2 minus. Got it? Or what is meaning of 2 plus? 2 plus means 2.000001 like this. This is the meaning of 2 plus. So this is the meaning of minus and plus. Not minus and plus is not negative or positive number. यही एक बहुत बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट है इस चैप्टर में. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ ए माइनस, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ ए प्लस. So left hand limit means we are approaching, we are trying to find the functional value at when x a equal to 2, for example, na. So we are trying to find the functional value at 1.99, and a plus or 2 plus means we are trying to find the value of function at 2.001. So 2 minus or 2 plus are very close to a. 2 minus and 2 plus are very close to a. If f of 1.999 and f of 2.001, if these both values, functional values are also close, then we are saying limit exist. But अगर ऐसा हो कि 2 minus and 2 plus are very close to 2, but f of 1.99 and f of 2.001 are different value. Different value means not close, not approximately equal, right? Very erratically change. F 1.99 suppose 3 and f 2.001 suppose 2. So this limit does not exist. Why? Since left hand limit coming what? 3, right hand limit coming to what? 2, which means we are saying what? हम फंक्शन को अप्रोच कर रहे हैं लेफ्ट हैंड साइड से तो वैल्यू कुछ और आ रही है, फंक्शन को अप्रोच कर रहे हैं राइट हैंड साइड से वैल्यू कुछ और आ रही है. बट दोनों फंक्शन वेरी क्लोज टू राइट हैंड साइड और लेफ्ट हैंड साइड से अप्रोच कहाँ से कर रहे हैं? वेरी क्लोज टू 2, वेरी क्लोज टू a. सो दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ लिमिट. अगर हम लेफ्ट हैंड साइड और राइट हैंड साइड से अप्रोच करने पे अगर वैल्यू सेम आ रही है, वैल्यू सेम किसकी आ रही है? मीन्स फंक्शन की वैल्यू. फंक्शन की वैल्यू मीन्स फॉर एग्जांपल हियर, यहाँ से आप खुद देख सकते हैं ग्राफ से, यहाँ से 2 minus h, 2 minus h means what? Why we are calling 2 minus h? The reason is, see, replace x by a minus h, x by a minus h. This one is a minus means a minus h we can write, a minus h. H is very small quantity but positive. What is the concept of h? This one also try to discuss. What is the concept of h? H is very small quantity but positive. So 1.9999 means what? What you can write? 2 minus 0.0001 we can write or not? So this is the meaning of h. H is very always positive. Be careful about h. H is always positive. H never equal to 0. H never equal to 0. H is always positive. Value of h here given already. H equal to, h means what? Suppose 10 power minus 25. H equal to 10 power minus 26. H equal to 10 power minus 100. Like this the value of h. 10 power minus 25 is negative or positive? Positive value. 10 power minus 25 means nothing, 1 upon 10 power 25. And this one is always greater than 0, but very close to 0. So h tends to 0 means, what is meaning of tends? this h trying to go to 0, very close to 0, but never equal to 0. Clear? This is the meaning of h. So in complete calculus, whenever we will use h means very close to positive quantity greater than 0, but very close to 0, very close to 0. H is very close to 0. H is infinitely small value and very closest to 0. Got it? So 2 minus h is left hand side, approaching 2 from left hand side. 2 plus h means approaching 2 from right hand side. So when x equal to that point 2 minus h, where function going? Function going 7 minus k. And when approaching from right hand side, function value going 7 plus k. And 7 minus k and 7 plus k both are almost same, approximately equal or not? Yes, approximately equal to, both are equal. Whatever the small change in 2, small change in 7, so both are equal. So that's why limit exist. अगर ऐसा होता कि यहाँ 2 minus h यहाँ 3 किसी और पॉइंट 6 पे आ जाता, 2 plus h जा रहा है 8 पे, then limit does not exist. Got it? This one is something like 2 minus h means f of 1.99, ये भी कहाँ पे जा रहा है? Almost 6.999 something. 2 plus h means 2.01, ये भी कहाँ पे जा रहा है? 7.001. So 6.99 and 7.001, these are almost equal to 7. So that's why limit exist. Okay? अगर ये दोनों इस पॉइंट पे फंक्शन कहीं और जा रहा है, इस पॉइंट पे फंक्शन कहीं और जा रहा है, कहीं और मीन्स अप्रोक्सीमेटली क्लोज नहीं है. 6.99 और 7.001 बोथ आर अप्रोक्सीमेटली क्लोज इक्वल. क्लियर? अप्रोक्सीमेटली 7 की इक्वल है दोनों. दैट्स वाई दिस फंक्शन लिमिट इज इक्वल टू व्हाट? 7. गॉट इट? आई होप कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर हो गया लिमिट का. अब आइए देखते हैं इसमें क्या कर रहे हैं. नोट क्या है? इफ x टेंड टू a माइनस x टेंड टू a प्लस fx गोज अप्रोक्सीमेटली सेम पॉइंट. वट एवर आई सेड, same thing I already noted here for your notes. Similarly, x tend to a means where x approaches to a, whatever we already discussed. If x tend to a minus a plus fx goes approximately at same point, then we are calling as limit of fx exist at a and limit x tend to a fx exist. Okay, which means from right hand side, left hand side, if going approximately same point, we are calling as limit fx exist. Okay, now what is the definition? This concept clear? Your concept already clear for limit. Now come to definition. Definition is what? Let fx be defined on an open interval a except possibly at a itself. Which means what? Which means what we are trying to say? Trying to say fx is defined on a possibly open interval a except at a itself. Which means for limit at point a, if you are finding limit at point a, limit x tend to a, if you are finding limit at point a, then at point a function is defined or not doesn't matter. Okay, at x, if you are finding limit x tend to a, then ये function fx, which means this point a is domain of fx, belongs to your domain of fx or not doesn't matter. But अगर आप लिमिट फाइंड कर रहे हो, which means एक ऐसा नेबरहुड a का मिलेगा, which means एक नेबरहुड मीन्स कोई एक, suppose point a is here, so we will get some neighborhood of a where function is what? Defined. Function is what? Suppose a is this point, then there is, we get some neighborhood, open interval, where function is what? Defined. Where is function is, suppose this one is point a, so we will get some neighborhood where function is defined. Maybe at point a function is not defined, but a के आसपास फंक्शन क्या होगा? डिफाइन होगा. सो हम a पे लिमिट चेक कर सकते हैं. बी क्लियर? If we are finding limit at point a, the function fx is defined at a or not doesn't matter. No one will ask fx is defined at a. Defined means what? A belongs to a domain of fx or not doesn't matter. A आपका belong भी कर सकता है domain of fx के, which means a can be belong to domain of fx or may not be belong to domain of fx. It doesn't matter. Got it? Clear? Next, limit of the function, which means limit x, what we are saying, if fs goes close to L, a finite number, for all x sufficiently close to a, which means for all x sufficiently close to a means a लेफ्ट हैंड साइड से राइट हैंड साइड से दोनों से अप्रोच करने पे fx अगर अप्रोच कर रहा है अप्रोक्सीमेटली अप्रोचेज लिमिट L एज x अप्रोचिंग फ्रॉम राइट हैंड साइड और लेफ्ट हैंड साइड फ्रॉम एनीवेयर, इफ x क्लोजेस्ट टू a, fx अप्रोच कर रहा है लिमिट L पे, विच मीन्स एक फिक्स नंबर L क्या है? एक फिक्स नंबर है, If fx approaches a fixed number L, we are calling limit x टेंड टू fx exist and equal to L. L वो नंबर है जहाँ पे x अप्रोच कर रहा है a से, a प्लस और a माइनस पे, सो fx अप्रोच कर रहा है L पे. This complete concept of limit is based on only this one. Concept of limit is only what you know. When x moving towards a, when x moving towards very close to a, where fx going? This is the concept of limit. When x moving towards a, x moving close to a, where fx going? अगर x a की तरफ जा रहा है, fx कहाँ पे जा रहा है? fx कहाँ पे जा रहा है? अगर x a की तरफ जा रहा है और fx also ऑलमोस्ट सेम पॉइंट, ऑलमोस्ट एक ही पॉइंट पे जा रहा है, मतलब राइट हैंड साइड से a पे और लेफ्ट हैंड साइड से a पे अप्रोच करने पे a माइनस ए प्लस पे fx आल्सो अप्रोक्सीमेटली सेम पॉइंट पे जा रहा है, सो उसको बोलते हैं एंड लिमिट एग्जिस्ट एंड दैट वैल्यू एट लेफ्ट हैंड साइड राइट हैंड साइड इक्वल होगा, सो उस वैल्यू क्या बोलते हैं? L, राइट? L is any number or any function. Limit of the function fx at x equal to a exist if, see definition. Now this one is basic definition and book definition also. This one is book definition, right? Whatever given in book. Limit of the function fx at x equal to a exist if, when exist? When limit of function fx at x at point a. What is the point? A. Exist when? When left hand limit x tend to a minus approaches from left hand side fx and approaches from right hand side of a at fx. This is equal to finite quantity. Or limit h tend to 0, we already discussed. Why here, how this one change to this one? Simply just a minus means what? A minus means what? Put x equal to a minus h. Put x equal to a minus h. Why put x equal to a minus h? We know h is very small quantity. So x tend to a minus means slightly lower than a. Slightly lower than a means what? What you will write? Less than a? No. Slightly lower than a means a minus very small number, h is very small number. So that's why just put x equal to a minus h. Whenever you will put x equal to a minus h, when you will put x equal to a minus h is going to 0 and x equal to what? A minus, which is equal to a minus h. Now this one set h this side and this one. So h equal to what? This h comes this side. So a minus and we know a minus is very small, very slightly less than a, so complete a minus very slightly less than a means what? We will get what? Greater than 0, little bit, very small number, got it? So that number h going to 0. Similarly for right hand limit, we substituted x equal to, at the place of x equal to a plus h. Whenever the moment we will substitute x equal to a plus h, so x equal to what? X going towards a plus, so we can substitute x equal to a plus, so a plus equal to what? A plus h. Now h equal to what? H equal to a plus minus a, this is equal to h. So a plus means slightly low, greater than a, and subtract slightly greater than a minus, which means 2.001 minus 2 if a equal to 2, then h equal to what? 0.001, which means h is again going towards 0. So we are calling what? When left hand limit is equal to, this one is known as left hand limit, this one is known as right hand limit. If left hand limit equal to right hand limit, we are calling as limit exist and equal to whatever the, if both are equal to same number. So suppose this one both equal to L. So left hand limit equal to right hand limit equal to L, then limit exist and equal to L. In note, in limit x tend to a fx, for limit to exist at x equal to function in want to define it, already discussed. At अगर किसी पॉइंट पे आप लिमिट फाइंड कर रहे हो, उस पॉइंट पे फंक्शन डिफाइन हो जरूरी नहीं है. फॉर एग्जांपल आइए देखते हैं, अब कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर हो गया. आइए देखते हैं क्वेश्चंस, फॉर एग्जांपल्स. दिस फंक्शन इज डिफाइंड एट एक्स इक्वल टू, दिस फंक्शन इज डिफाइंड एट एक्स इक्वल टू, नो. व्हाई? व्हेन एक्स इक्वल टू डिनोमिनेटर इज गोइंग 0. And you know already, whenever denominator is 0, whenever any function denominator is 0, that function is not defined. We already discussed in relation and function, right? Domain range. So but this function limit we can ask at 2. ये फंक्शन 2 पे डिफाइंड नहीं है. क्यों? क्योंकि x इक्वल 2 पे दिस फंक्शन डिनोमिनेटर इज गोइंग 0, और किसी फंक्शन का डिनोमिनेटर 0 होता है तो फंक्शन डिफाइंड नहीं होता. और पॉलिनोमियल रेशनल फंक्शन है ये. रेशनल फंक्शन मीन्स whenever denominator is 0, that function is not in domain, that number is not in domain. So but we are finding लिमिट एट 2. सो इससे क्या प्रूफ होता है? इससे ये प्रूफ होता है विच मीन्स at this point function is defined or not doesn't matter. At point A, when x tends to A you are asking, at point A function may be defined or not doesn't matter. Okay, so here limit कैसे find करेंगे? simply कैसे find करेंगे हम? limit x tends to 2. अब x square minus 4 which means a square minus b square, x plus 2, x minus 2 upon x minus 2. This one cancel out. So this is equal to what? This is equal to 4. क्लियर? क्या किया हमने? जस्ट डायरेक्ट सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दिया. क्यों सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दिया हम आगे डिस्कस करेंगे. जनरली हम लोग लेफ्ट हैंड लिमिट और राइट हैंड लिमिट फाइंड कर सकते हैं, सेम आएगा आंसर, बट डायरेक्टली सब्स्टिट्यूट भी कर सकते हैं. क्यों सब्स्टिट्यूट कर सकते हैं आगे डिस्कस करेंगे. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है लिमिट x टेंड टू 0, लिमिट x टेंड टू 0 मॉडुलस ऑफ x अपॉन x नॉट इक्वल टू 0. अब देखिए यहाँ पे 0 ऑलरेडी में रिमूव है बाहर, 0 डोमेन में बिलोंग नहीं करता है, बट 0 पे ही लिमिट पूछ रहे हैं, राइट? हियर 0 नॉट बिलोंग्स टू योर डोमेन, बट अगेन आस्किंग लिमिट एट पॉइंट 0. सो व्हाट वी कैन डू, विच मीन्स बी क्लियर, मे बी दिस पॉइंट बिलोंग्स टू योर डोमेन, डजंट मैटर, बिलोंग्स टू डोमेन और नॉट मैटर. इफ दैट पॉइंट नॉट बिलोंग्स टू योर डोमेन ऑल्सो वी कैन फाइंड लिमिट. ओके, अब यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे, आपको पता है कि लिमिट x टेंड टू 0, modulus x means what? Modulus x means when x is greater than 0, there are two cases, right? See, first of all, for any limit we are finding what? For limit we need to find left hand limit. What is left hand limit? Left hand limit means limit x tend to 0 minus a minus fx. This is equal to limit h tend to 0 f of 0 minus h, which means ultimately we need to find limit h tend to 0 f of minus h, and h is what? Very small quantity but positive. So f of minus h means less than 0, and we know modulus x value when x less than 0. We know modulus x value is what? When x is greater than 0, x less than 0, minus x. So when x is less than 0, modulus x equal to minus x. So minus x upon x, and here limit, which means, sorry, here f of minus h, f of minus means at the place of x substitute h. So here what? Modulus of h is very small quantity but positive, right? X is very small quantity but positive, h is very small quantity but positive, and modulus of x we know already when x is less than 0, minus x. So here this value is what? Less than 0. So this one is minus h upon h, limit h tend to 0, h is cancelled, which is minus 1. So left hand limit is what? Minus 1. Similarly, what about right hand limit? Right hand limit is what? Limit x tend to 0 plus fx. This one equal to what? Limit h tend to 0 f of 0 plus h means f of h. So here 0 plus h is what? Greater than 0, and whenever x is greater than 0, value is what? X means what? Limit h tend to 0 f of 0 plus h, f of h means what? Positive. So whenever positive, then h upon h, this one cancel, which is equal to 1. And we can see here x, when x moving from left hand side, value is of function is what? Minus 1. When x moving from right hand side of 0, value of function is what? 1. And we know minus 1 is not equal to 1, which means left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit, hence limit does not exist. Got it? आपके पास एक ऐसा फंक्शन है जिसका लिमिट एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है, एक ऐसा फंक्शन है जिसका लिमिट एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर रहा है. ओके, नेक्स्ट सम कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्वेश्चन डिस्कस करते हैं लेफ्ट हैंड लिमिट राइट हैंड लिमिट करके, राइट? By using left hand limit and right hand limit, we are going to discuss some conceptual question. What? First question is what? We already discussed two questions, examples, but here now to discuss again some questions. First question is limit x tend to 3 minus. 3 minus means just we need to find, this is function. This is what? Function. We need to find the where this function going when x moving towards 3 minus. 3 minus means there is 3. So we will approach 3 from left hand side. When we will approach 3 from left hand side, where function going, this is known as what? This is known as limit at x tends to 3 minus. So just start. 3 minus means what? Just simply limit x tends to 3 minus means limit h tends to 0 f of 3 minus h. We can write simply. Clear? Now this is equal to limit h tends to 0. 3 minus h means what? At the place of x substitute 3 minus h. So 3 minus just at the place of x, if fx at the place of x 3 minus h. So just put at the place of x 3 minus h. So 3 minus h minus 2 divided by 3 minus h minus 3. 3 and 3 cancel. Here 3 minus 2 equal to what? Limit h tends to 0. 3 minus 2 1 minus h upon minus h. So this is equal to limit h tends to 0, h tends to 0, 1 minus h upon minus h. So अब h 0 की तरफ जा रहा है तो ये कहाँ जाएगा? माइनस 0. ओके, माइनस 0 एंड 1 माइनस एच कहाँ जाएगा? h वेरी क्लोज टू 0. सो 1 माइनस एच ऑलमोस्ट 1.1 से थोड़ा सा कम होगा, राइट? 1 माइनस एच इफ h इज ग्रेटर देन 0, 1 माइनस इज स्लाइटली लेस देन 1 एंड दिस वन इज गोइंग टुवर्ड्स माइनस 0. ओके, माइनस 0. सो टोटल वैल्यू कहाँ पे जाएगा? Which means if h is very positive number but very slightly close to 0, very close to 0. So 1 minus h is almost close to 1, right? So minus h means what? 1 upon minus 0 almost, which is going towards minus infinity. Okay, this is equal to minus infinity. So this is not finite number, this is not equal to finite number, hence finite number, which means limit does not exist finitely, or limit does not exist. Clear? Why? finite number नहीं मिला, so limit does not exist. Simply क्या करना है हमको? 1 माइनस एच अपॉन माइनस एच आ रहा है, और आपको कन्फ्यूजन हो तो ऐसे भी कर सकते हो, लिमिट एच टेंड टू 0, 1 अपॉन माइनस एच अपॉन माइनस एच. सो माइनस माइनस प्लस एच 1 and here 1 minus h is what? h tend to 0. This is again what? Minus infinity minus 1. This is equal to minus infinity. Got it? So ultimately this limit is what? Minus infinity, and which is does not exist. Next question, very important and very interesting question. Limit x tend to 2, greatest integer x. Greatest integer x means what? If you don't know greatest integer x, you can comment. I will discuss what is greatest integer function or least integer function. Here limit x tend to 2, greatest integer x, which means what is the process? Just simple process. Find left hand limit and right hand limit. If both are equal, that is function limit exists, otherwise does not exist. So left hand limit is what? Limit x tend to 2 minus fx, 2 minus fx, which is equal to what? 2 minus fx means what? Limit h tend to 0 f of 2 minus h, which means limit h tend to 0 f of 2 minus h means what? Greatest integer function 2 minus h, which we are calling greatest integer function, also known as floor function. So 2 minus h means what? This is almost, h is very small quantity but positive. So if we subtract from 2 very small number 0.001, what will get? We will get 1.999, and greatest integer function 1.99 is what? 1. So left hand limit is what? 1. What about right hand limit? Right hand limit is also what? Limit x tend to 2, approach from right hand side, fx, this is equal to limit h tend to 0 f of 2 plus h, which means we need to approach from right hand side of 2, which means limit h tend to 0, greatest integer function 2 plus h, slightly greater than 2. Slightly greater than 2 means we need to find almost 2.001. This is for understanding only, right? 2.001, and we know greatest integer value of 2.001 is 2. So which means left hand limit equal to 1 and right hand limit equal to 2, and we know 1 is not equal to 2. Therefore this function limit x tends to 2, greatest integer x does not exist. Clear? One note also. Note is what? Limit x tends to, very important note, limit x tends to a, greater than x does not exist if and only if a belongs to any integer, which means if a is any integer, limit x tend to a greater than x does not exist, and if a not belongs to integer, limit always exist. Limit always exist. This is shortcut, right? Third question is what? Let fx equal to when x is greater than 0, function is x plus 1. This type of function is known as branch function. This type of function is known as branch function. Very important function is known as this branch function. So when x is greater than 0, function is what? X plus 1. When x is less than 0, function is what? X minus 1. Then we need to prove that limit x tend to 0 fx does not exist, or just we need to find limit x at which point? At 0 only. Conceptual बात इसमें यह है कि we need to discuss limit generally at only connector. Connector means what? ये function connect कहाँ पे कर रहा है? This function when x is greater than 0 something different, less than 0 something different. So which connector? Connector is 0. This is like tree. Branch function means why we are calling it branch? This is tree. This one is branch of tree and this one is tree, right? So this one is the connector. This one is connector point. So this one is 0. From here, this one is 2 functions and this one is what? Connector. Got it? So we need to check the point, limit, continue, whatever is generally at connectors. So start. So limit, we need to find limit at which point? 0. So limit, left hand limit x tend to 0 minus. This is what? Left hand limit x tend to 0 minus fx. X tend to 0 minus fx means what? We need to discuss limit something slightly less than 0. Slightly less than 0 means which function is responsible? When x is slightly lower than 0, which function is responsible? X is less than 0, x minus 1 is responsible. When x is greater than or equal to 0, x plus 1 is responsible. So here which function? Limit x tend to 0 minus which function is responsible? X minus 1. So which means what is the work of x minus 1? Whenever x tend to 0 minus, function is x minus 1. So just limit x tend to 0, x minus 1, which means 0 minus 1 is what? This is minus 1. So left hand limit minus 1. What about right hand limit? Right hand limit is what? Limit x tend to 0 plus fx. 0 plus fx means what? Slightly greater than 0. Slightly greater than 0 means which function is responsible? X plus 1. So this is what? Limit x tend to 0, x plus 1. This is equal to 1. So left hand limit is minus 1, right hand limit is 1, and if both are not equal, definition of limit fails. If both are equal, then only we can say limit exists and equal to that number. So here limit does not exist. Simple. Clear? One note also. Note is what? Very important note. This one is branch function. Branch function only doubtful case at connectors. Doubtful case at connectors, right? Which means other than connectors, no need to check function is limit, always limit exists. Only connectors we need to check limit exists or not. Okay. Next one, very important function which is known as popcorn function. Popcorn function, this name is not popcorn function, this name given by me, popcorn function, but this one name is different, right? Delay function we are calling, right? But according to me, sir, I gave the name is popcorn function. मैंने इसको नाम दिया है what? Popcorn function. Got it? Popcorn function क्यों दिया है? ये popcorn की तरह ऐसे फैला होता है, right? When x belong to rational number, different function. When x belong to irrational number, different function. Okay? x जब rational होगा तो different function gx होगा. gx is polynomial. x belong to irrational number, hx होगा polynomial. Which means अगर आप कहोगे x equal to 3.14, so यहाँ आ जाएगा. अगर आप कहोगे pi, तो यहाँ आ जाएगा. This is the difference. When x equal to 3.14, which function is responsible? Gx. X equal to pi, which function is responsible? Hx. This is known as popcorn function. Popcorn function is nothing, combination of two functions. When x belong to rational number, different polynomial. X belong to irrational number, different polynomial. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फंक्शन है लिमिट के लिए. इस फंक्शन की लिमिट एग्जिस्ट कहाँ से करती है? When this function limit exists? Simply when the value of x where gx and hx both are equal. this function limit exists only when both function are equal. This function fx, not a gx or hx. Gx is polynomial, hx is polynomial, no problem at anywhere, everywhere limit exists. Problem is only fx. Fx is not polynomial, fx is combination of two polynomial. So when limit of fx exists, which point? Only when x, the value of x where gx and hx both are equal. For example, suppose fx equal to, when x is rational, x polynomial, when x is irrational, 1 minus x. So we are, the question asking limit x tend to alpha fx exist, which means limit exists at point alpha. So what is the value of alpha? Simply, how to find this alpha? Simply just equate according to rule, when limit exists, when gx equal to hx, which means here gx is what? X equal to 1 minus x, x plus x equal to 1, which means 2x equal to 1. So x equal to 1 by 2, which means alpha equal to 1 by 2. At which point of x limit exists? Only at 1 by 2. There is no other point where this function fx limit can exist. This function fx and limit exist at only 1 by 2. If we will check at 1 by 3 also limit does not exist, 1 by 4 also limit does not exist, 1 by 100 also limit does not exist, which means any number which is not equal to 1 by 2, whenever you will check, limit always does not exist of this function. This is very interesting function. This function limit exists only when both functions are equal. Got it? Here this is example, x equal to 1 by 2. Next question is what? Question number 5. This is very good question. Again, limit, we need to find the limit at 1 plus. What is meaning of 1 plus? 1 plus means from 1 we are approaching 1 from right hand side. We are approaching 1 from right hand side. Okay, we are approaching 1 plus means, if is still confusion, simply 1 plus means what? 1 plus means approaching fx from right hand side of 1, right hand side of 1. Okay, got it? When, which means, what is the meaning of this complete limit? This meaning is when x moving towards right hand side of 1, where this function goes, right? So simply we know already, right, how to find limit h tend to 0, and which, how h tend to 0? Just substitute x equal to 1 plus h, x equal to 1 plus h, we will get what? X tend to 1 plus, so 1 plus h, h tend to 0. Got it? Just whenever you want to substitute, convert x tend to h, simply put a plus h or a minus h. If you want f a minus, then we need to put a minus h. For a plus, we need to put a plus, x equal to a plus h. When x tend to a minus, simply when x tend to a minus, we need to put x equal to a minus h. When x tend to a plus, we need to put x equal to a plus h. Got it? Simple. So here what we need to do? 2 minus 2 power 1 upon 1 minus, at the place of x, what we need to substitute? 1 plus h. Got it? And now 1 minus 1 plus, this will cancel, remaining is what? Limit h tend to 0, 2 power minus 2 power 1 upon minus of h. Now tell me one thing, when, just try to handle separate, na? This one, first of all handle this one. When limit h tend to 0, 1 upon minus n, when h tend to 0, where 1 upon minus h is going? This one going, h tend to 0, when h moving towards very close to 0, 1 upon 0 is what? Almost infinity. So 1 upon minus 0 is what? Almost 1 upon minus very close to 0, this is going to minus infinity. So 2 power minus infinity is what? Almost 0 again. Clear? So 2 power, this one 2 power minus infinity is going almost 0. So limit h tend to 0, 2 power minus 0 is what? This is also 1. So this limit is equal to nothing, only 1. Got it? Next question. Next question is very important, very important. And after this one, whatever you have doubt in limit, left hand limit, right hand limit, everything clear. After discussion of this page, you will clear idea about left hand limit, right hand limit and limit. Since we are going to discuss limit and left hand limit, right hand limit by using graph. Okay. So what is left hand limit, right hand limit? You can read value of fx approaches x tend to a from whatever we discussed already. This completely you can read, already discussed. Just going to start question. Question is what? This one is the given graph and these are given questions with answer also. These are the given function, graph of any function, this one given. We need to find limit according to the given question. So first question is what? Limit x tend to minus 1 plus. Minus 1 plus means what? Limit x tend to minus 1 plus means what? We need to approach minus 1 from right hand side. Where is minus 1? X equal to minus 1. Search in this graph. Where is minus 1? X equal to minus 1. X equal to minus 1 is here. X equal to minus 1 is here. So when x equal to minus 1 here, where function going? When x equal to minus 1 plus means what? Positive side of minus 1. So when x moving towards minus 1, where is y? Y is almost here and here y is what? Minus 1. So x moving towards minus 1 plus positive side means little bit right hand side. So right hand side means x moving, whenever x moving little bit right hand side, value of y almost here, and here y is what? Minus 1. So limit x tend to minus 1, this one is equal to what? Minus 1. Now 0 minus, limit x tend to 0 minus, which means we need to find this function limit at 0 minus. 0 minus means from left hand side of 0. Left hand side of 0 means what? Left, this is 0 origin. Left hand side of 0 means slightly left hand side. Slightly left hand side of 0, then where is value of y? Value of y also what? 0. Right? Here value of y and x value and y value both are same. So limit is what? 0. What about 1 minus? 1 minus means not here minus 1 minus. Here 1 minus. We need to approach 1 from left hand side. Where is 1? Here. Left hand side means what? From this side. So when x slightly lower than 1, where is y? Y directly comes to here. When x slightly lower than 1, almost y is here, this point. And this point is what? Value of y? Minus 1. So when x tend to 1 minus, value of y, value of limit minus 1. This is the concept of limit. Try to understand. This one is very tricky concept, right? Very simple. If you understand about this graph, everything clear. 1 plus means what? When x moving towards 1 plus, where is fx going? 1 plus means slightly greater than 1. Then where fx going? Fx at same point. Where fx 1 plus, x 1 plus, y also same point or not? Suppose x 1 plus is almost here. So y also same or not? Yes. Which means 1 plus, y is almost close to 0. 1 plus means slightly, very slightly upper than x axis, and if anything close to x axis, y value of y is what? 0. So 1 plus limit is what? 0. What about 2 minus? Where is 2? This one 2. And 2 minus means what? Slightly left hand side of 2. Whenever slightly left hand side of 2, where is y? Y is this one, and here y is what? 1. So 2 minus means limit is 1. Sorry. Next, limit x tend to 0. Limit x tend to 0 means what? Where is 0? Here 0. So limit x tend to 0, limit exists or not? If limit exists means left hand limit at 0 is equal to right hand limit at 0, which means limit x tend to 0 minus, this is equal to limit x tend to 0 plus. What is meaning of limit exists? Last one. Simply if limit x tend to 0 minus fx, this is equal to limit x tend to 0 plus fx, we can say limit exists. But 0 minus fx is what? 0. 0 plus fx is what? 0 plus fx is not given here. So 0 plus we can find. 0 plus is what? When x tend to 0 plus means almost here. Yes, this is also what? 0, both are 0. So limit x tend to 0, fx is 0. What about 1? Limit x tend to, if limit x tend to 1 exists, which means from right hand side of 1, from left hand side of 1, both are same value. But 1 minus limit is value 1, minus 1, and 1 plus is what? 0. Both are not equal, which means limit does not exist at 1. Got it? Next graph is what? This is more important graph and more interesting, right? From this one, we'll clear about completely exact. If still 1% doubt, na, if you had 1% doubt still remaining, if you have 1% doubt still remaining, 1 to 2% doubt also you can clear from this graph. Okay, after this only we need to discuss properties of limit, which means by using some tricks or some direct formula, right? This one is concept of limit. After this graph, 100% clear. Got it? First question in the given, this is the given graph. According to the given graph, we need to find the limit at whatever the point asking. So first question is what? First question is limit x tend to 0 minus. X tend to 0 minus, where is 0? First of all search 0. 0 is x equal to 0 here. When x equal to 0 here, x equal to 0 this point, or this one also complete x equal to, on complete y axis x equal to 0. When x tend to 0 minus, slightly less than 0, where is y? Y almost at, when x equal to 0 on complete y axis value of x is 0. So when x is slightly lower than 0, which is left hand side, where is y? Y is minus 1. So this value is what? X tend to 0 minus, this value is minus 1. Why? Whenever x slightly lower than 0, value of y is minus 1. So limit x tend to 0 minus is, limit is what? Minus 1. Come to 0 plus. 0 plus means slightly right hand side of 0. Whenever slightly right hand side of 0, this value also what? When x is slightly right hand side of 0, value of y again minus 1. So this one also minus 1. And we can see left hand side of 0 and right hand side of 0 both are same limit, minus 1, both values are same, which means limit x tend to, which means we can say limit x tend to 0, fx exist and equal to 1, sorry, minus 1. This value is minus 1, so minus 1. Now third question is what? Limit x tend to 1 minus. Now 1 minus means what? We need to find limit at point, which point? 1 minus. Where is 1? 1 from left hand side. This is 1. Approach from left hand side. Whenever you will approach 1 from left hand side, this is 1. Approach from left hand side. Where is value of y? Value of going directly 1. Okay. So limit x tend to 1 means, 1 minus means going directly 1 minus going 1. Okay. Now what about 1 plus? 1 plus means, this is very interesting. See here. When x is, this is 1. This is what point? This point is 1. When x approaches from left hand side of 1, we are getting this graph, right? This is point of, when x slightly, which means suppose 0.99, x equal to 0.99, where is y? X equal to 0.99, y is almost 0.99 here only. X equal to 0.99, value of y is here. So almost 1. That's why when x tend to 1 minus from left hand side, value of function is what? 1. Okay. When x is this one. Got it? But whenever the moment you are going to 1 plus means slightly greater than 1. Slightly greater than means 1.001. 1 plus means what? 1.001. Whenever you are going 1.001, this function is going what? This function is going here directly, value of y. Whenever x is going 1 plus, this function is starting from directly 2. This, what is the value of y here? Value of y here 2. When x equal to 1.01, value of y is 2. This is the concept of limit. Here when one slide left hand side of 1, this one is 1, right hand side of 1 going directly 2. This is erratically changed. This means, this known as what? Erratically change. Erratically change, which means very slightly from 0.99 to 1.001, this is very slightly change. In value of x, value of a very slightly change, but value of y change from 1 to 2, very erratical change. Got it? So this point at point 1 limit does not exist. At point 1 limit does not exist. Why? Since x tend to 1 minus fx is what? 1. Limit x tend to 1 plus fx is what? Plus fx is 2. Why? When x moving slightly greater than 2, slightly greater than 1, value of y going 2 directly. Okay. So this one limit x tend to 1 plus fx equal to 2. Next x tend to 2 minus. 2 minus, where is 2? This one 2. X tend to 2 minus means from left hand side of 2. From left hand side of 2, x tend to 2 minus, almost 2 minus function is almost close to 3, sometime 2.99, something like that. Right hand side of 2, so 2 minus means what? What is the value of 2 minus? 2 minus is also 3. Approximately 2.99 means we will write 3. 2 plus means slightly greater than 2. Slightly greater than 2, again what? Almost. Value of y is what? Again 3. 2 point something, 3.01, and 3.01 means what? We can write again 3. So at point 2 limit exists. Got it? And equal to 3. What about 3? At point 3. Now at point 3. 3 left hand side means at point 3 left hand side. Whenever we'll go from left hand side of 3, value of when x is 3, x is slightly less than 3. Slightly less than 3 means 2.999. 2.9 means something here. Value of y is what? 2. So 3 minus value is what? 3 minus value is what? This is also equal to 2. When 3 plus means slightly greater than plus. When x tends to 3 plus, whenever slightly greater than 3, this one is going directly 3. See, up to 3, this one graph. Whenever we are starting 3 greater than 3, this graph started again, which means again radical change, again too much big change, right? So 3 plus means value of y is what? Here 3. So value of 3 plus is what? 3. And 3 left hand limit at 3 is 2, right hand limit at 3 is what? 3, and 2 is not equal to 3, hence limit does not exist at 3 also. Now what about 4? 4 minus left hand limit at 4. 4 minus means this one is 4. 4 is what? Here when x equal to 4, value of y is also 4. So 4 minus also same point almost. So 4 minus also 4, and 4 plus means almost here. 4 plus also same point. So we can say this one is when x equal to 4, from left hand side also coming 4 almost, from right hand side also coming 4, which means this one is also 4, right hand side also 4. So limit exists at 4, right, and equal to 4. Got it? What about infinity? Limit extend to infinity. Extend to infinity means when x moving towards very large x. When x moving towards very large right hand side of x. So x moving towards very right hand side of x, then where is y? When x going towards very large, x is going like this. Where is y? Almost when x going very large, value of y, this one is line. This is known as asymptote. This line is known as asymptote. We will discuss in other lectures. So when x going very large, then this is the line. This line is known as what? This line is almost 2. X never reached to infinity. Infinity not number. Infinity is just a representation for very large number. So when x moving very large, value of y going almost 2. So this is correct. X tend to 6 minus, which means approach fx from 6 left hand side. So whenever you approach 6 from left hand side, 6 slightly lower than 6. Whenever slightly lower than 6, this graph is going downside, and downside means value of y is what? Minus infinity, which means this is also given correct. X tend to this one is equal to minus infinity. Got it? So किस फंक्शन की लिमिट एग्जिस्ट की? फंक्शन की लिमिट 0 पे एग्जिस्ट कर गई. फंक्शन की लिमिट 0 पे एग्जिस्ट कर गई, 1 पे एग्जिस्ट नहीं की. क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ 1 माइनस पे 1 पे है, 1 प्लस पे 2 पे चला जा रहा है, तो इरेटिकल चेंज है. सो लिमिट डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट एट 1 पे एग्जिस्ट नहीं की. राइट नाउ 2 पे एग्जिस्ट कर रही है. क्यों? क्योंकि x इक्वल टू 2 माइनस पे भी 3 पे है, 2 प्लस पे भी क्या पे है? फ्रॉम राइट हैंड साइड ऑफ 2 ऑल्सो 3, फ्रॉम लेफ्ट हैंड साइड ऑफ 2 ऑल्सो 3. सो लिमिट एट 2 एग्जिस्ट. ओके, व्हाट अबाउट 3 राइट हैंड साइड से अप्रोच करेंगे तो ये यहाँ पे अटेंड कर रहा है, विच मीन्स 3 पे चला जा रहा है, और लेफ्ट हैंड साइड से अटेंड करेंगे तो 2 पे चला जा रहा है. अगेन इरेटिकल चेंज. सो अगेन एट पॉइंट 3 लिमिट डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट. एट पॉइंट 4 अगेन एट पॉइंट 4 एक्स इक्वल टू 4, राइट hand side and left hand side both are 4. So both limit exist at, which means limit exist at equal to 4. Okay, and remaining infinity minus infinity already clear. So this one clear. Next one concept is what? Fundamental theorem of limit. Fundamental theorem of limit is what? Limit extend to a f x equal to L, limit extend to a g x equal to m if L m n r exist finitely, which means there are two functions, one is f x, one is g x. Okay, and at point a limit of f x is L and limit x tend to a, which means at point a limit of gx is m, and L m n both are exist and finitely, which means आपको दो फंक्शन दिया गया है, एक एफ एक्स एक जी एक्स. दोनों फंक्शन की लिमिट एग्जिस्ट करती है पॉइंट ए पे. इसकी लिमिट एफ एक्स की लिमिट पॉइंट ए पे एल है एंड लिमिट ऑफ जी एक्स एट पॉइंट ए इज एम एंड बोथ आर फाइनाइटली. देन व्हाट इज सम रूल? सम रूल माय अलजेब्रा ना, लाइक सम रूल इज व्हाट, लिमिट एक्स टेंड टू ए मीन्स दोनों फंक्शन के बाहर लिमिट लगी हुई है तो आप दोनों फंक्शन की लिमिट ऐड कर सकते हैं. डिफरेंस भी करेक्ट करेगा, विच मीन्स फॉर एग्जाम्पल लिमिट एक्स टेंड टू 2x स्क्वायर प्लस 4x, राइट. सो एक्स स्क्वायर की लिमिट एग्जिस्ट करती है 2 पे, 4x की भी लिमिट एग्जिस्ट करती है 2 पे. सो इसको आप कैसे कर सकते हो डायरेक्टली, लिमिट एक्स टेंड टू 2x स्क्वायर प्लस लिमिट एक्स टेंड टू 4x, दोनों इक्वल होंगे. इसकी लिमिट डायरेक्ट एग्जिस्ट फाइंड करो या ऐसे फाइंड करो, बोथ आर सेम. ओके. सिमिलरली प्रोडक्ट, कोसेंट, कांस्टेंट मल्टीपल मीन्स इफ एनी कांस्टेंट मल्टीपल inside the limit we can keep this constant outside, okay, of limit, and we need to find the limit of only function. That constant we can keep outside directly. Power rule limit x tend to a fx power m upon n. So this one fx, just fx limit you know l, so just l power m upon n. Got it? Limit x tend to a f of gx, अंदर अगर फंक्शन gx है which means for example sin of sin x, okay, ये फंक्शन है साइन ऑफ साइन एक्स मीन्स जी एक्स एक साइन एक्स फंक्शन है, उसका साइन ऑफ विच मीन्स फंक्शन अंडर फंक्शन. सो जस्ट जो इन साइड फंक्शन वी नीड टू फाइंड दैट फंक्शन लिमिट इन साइड द फंक्शन विल गेट डायरेक्टली लिमिट. ओके. प्रोवाइडेड फंक्शन इज कंटिन्यूअस एट एक्स एम, वी नीड डिस्कस नेक्स्ट चैप्टर कंटिन्यूअस. गॉट इट? दिस इज प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ लॉग. ओके. हियर विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर्म, indeterminate form. What is meaning of indeterminate form? In limit, sometimes what happened, sometimes 0.0 form or infinity, whenever these forms coming, maybe in basic classes you think like 0.0 is 1, but this is incorrect completely. Whenever function is going of the form 0 by 0, infinity of 1, there are seven types of indeterminate form. We need to memorize also. First one is 0.0, second one infinity upon infinity, infinity minus infinity, 0 into infinity, 1 power infinity, 0 power 0, infinity power 0. So if your function of the form, any one of the form, you can't say this is the final answer. Okay, which means whenever any one of the form, then we need to change our method, or anyhow we need to change the concept to find the limit. Got it? So here last one is what, find limit using direct substitution. Okay, we'll discuss indeterminate form is very important, we'll discuss again this one. Okay, how to use this indeterminate form, just try to memorize this one, remaining we'll discuss. Okay, finding this one example, finding limit using direct substitution. Direct substitution means हम लिमिट कैसे फाइंड कर सकते हैं, डायरेक्ट सब्स्टिट्यूट करके. डायरेक्ट सब्स्टिट्यूशन मीन्स व्हेन लिमिट एक्स टेंड टू ए, लिमिट एक्स टेंड टू ए एफ एक्स, directly this is equal to fa, when we can substitute directly x equal to a. In starting we already discussed whenever x tend to a, x never equal to a, but problem is what, x moving towards very close to a. So for approximate value, limit is not exact value, limit is not exact value, limit is just approx value, approx. So हम x moving towards what, x moving very close to a, for a while we can substitute x equal to a, but be clear, x never equal to a, but only for what, understanding, or for approximate value we can substitute x equal to a, but there is some conditions when we can substitute, when we can not substitute. So simply, when limit x tend to a fx equal to fa, when first let fx and gx and hx, there are three polynomials, fx, gx, hx are any polynomial you know. Polynomial means, polynomial if you don't know then you can see, very simple, from in class 9th also 10th also, right. So limit x tend to a fx equal to fa, which means just at the place of x we will substitute a, at x के place पे a substitute कर देंगे. कब? when fx is polynomial. If fx is polynomial, just substitute at the place of x a, that is limit. Okay. Or rational function means what, ratio of polynomial, न्यूमरेटर में एक पॉलिनोमियल है, डिनोमिनेटर में एक पॉलिनोमियल है, और एच ए नॉन जीरो होगा, एच ए नॉन जीरो होना चाहिए, विच मीन्स जिस पॉइंट पे आप लिमिट फाइंड कर रहे हो उस पॉइंट पे फंक्शन डिनोमिनेटर नॉन जीरो होना चाहिए, अदरवाइज नॉट डिफाइन होगा. सिंपल. सो जस्ट अगर ऐसा हो रहा है कि लिमिट एक्स टेंड टू ए जी एक्स अपॉन एच एक्स, वेयर जी एक्स इज पॉलिनोमियल, एच एक्स इज पॉलिनोमियल, and HA is HA at this point denominator is non-zero, so limit is nothing, just try to substitute at the place of XA, which means GA upon HA, this is limit. For example, this one is the question. First of all, this is polynomial or not? Yes, this is polynomial. If this one is polynomial, which means we can substitute directly, which means 3 into 1 square plus 4 into 1 plus 5. So 3 plus 4 7 plus 5 12. Got it? See, we can substitute directly. It doesn't mean that limit definition LHL or RHL fails. LHL RHL here also correct, but LHL and RHL takes long lengthy process or sometimes lot of time, right? So everywhere we can't apply. First of all, core concept is left hand limit, right hand limit. Core concept is what? Core concept is LHL RHL, right? LHL RHL you should learn. Don't try to think, try to pass anyhow. LHL RHL is basic concept. We should learn that one. Then we'll learn some shortcuts. This is shortcut. If fx is polynomial, just substitute that limit. If gx upon hx where denominator is non-zero, just substitute that point, we will get limit. Okay. Next, we will discuss in next lecture how to find by rationalization, by factorization, by L'Hopital, by using other so many methods, by using expansions. So remaining sandwich theorem. So next lecture we will discuss about how to find limit in different way by shortcut also, how to use limit, find limit in JEE also. Okay. Thank you. If you like this video, if you learn something, try to like, subscribe and share. Don't forget to share. Okay. Thank you.